It's working. Okay. It's fixed, everybody. Hello, welcome to my single-player world. Gotta fix you too, do we? Oh my, where are my tools? I think my tools are back at the Guardian farm. Yoink. So yeah, we are now running one... Ooh, might as well take that out. We are now running 1.8. Snapshots are finally over. Let's just put you in there for now, I guess. Sure. Yoink. We'll move you up there. Good. I don't think there's enough room in here anyway, but maybe. We have a lot more back, and we might want to keep some of it out there, actually, so I probably shouldn't bring it all back just yet. But today, I want to do a few things. Well, let's see here. Let's grab some more ender pearls. We're going to head back to the Guardian farm quickly to do a test, because I want to check some spawning conditions. Ooh. That is resolved. That's fixed. They used to be really tiny when they first made them 3D there, but now they look proper. They're pretty cool looking. And we're getting some fish, but no, I need some steak. That's one of the reasons I came back to the village, is I'm low on food. And I must have a bunch of my tools still back at there, and I think a lot of them needed repairing too. So, whoops. Is this still... What's going on here? Fancy? Smooth? Still lighting problems. I thought that was going to be resolved by the time 1.8 came out, but not... Don't look like it. Looks okay down here. Just certain circumstances they look weird. Anyway. Back into the nether. So yes, it's been a while. Again, sorry. Sorry. I do think I am getting kind of bored of Minecraft a bit. Even with the new additions, 1.8. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun, but I think I'm having more fun with other games, and I think I'd rather spend my time with those games. As such, I probably won't be playing Minecraft that much anymore, but we'll see. Nothing's for sure. Olympus, I think, is done for the most part. I haven't talked to Iroh recently, but I don't even think the server's up anymore, so I do have a copy of it. My last time I was on the server, I have a copy of what I've worked on, so I do have a copy of my tower. I don't know what to do about that, if I'll ever finish it. If I do, it will have to be probably in a single-player environment or in creative. I was even thinking of, at the end of this world, I would copy that tower over into here using MC Edit and just put it in the swamp right by the village, just out of sight or something, or just within sight, so that you could see it. So that's an option, and that could be its final resting place. Oh yeah, so here we go. There's my... that, and the other shovel. And you're down to that, are you? Do we have an anvil? There's one in my face. Can I heal you? Ooh, you're up to 33. I see. Well then, I won't heal you. That's okay, we don't need too much of a pick today. Yeah, those ones are really dead. How can I repair any of these? Yoink. Ooh, I can. Fortune 3. And you are 17. That's okay. Fortune's fine. I'll take it. Boop. Okay. So what I want to try is a test. It's only a test. Let's get some stone brick. A couple things I want to test. Alright, so we talked about this area over here. We're not sure if it's going to spawn any guardians. I've also... that must have been a glitched block. That floaty one. I also watched Exumavoid's video where he worked on this, or he worked on the Guardian farm as well. I think you guys told me to check him out to see how he did it. I do think the way I used the sponge actually worked out a lot better. He worked from the top down in a 5x5 hole, but he had to kind of put it on the edges, and I think he ended up using a lot more sponge, and it was a lot more cumbersome than it looked when I did it, but I'm not too sure. But it does seem, last I tested the sponge, it doesn't work as well as it used to, even at 1.8, so they changed something, so if you do like a 5x5 and try to stack up as I did, it's not going to work now anyway, so not sure. You'd almost have to do a 3x3. I don't even know if you put them every block in a 5x5 if they would actually clear out the water anymore. Alright, so my garden tempo was a little messed up. But anyway, yeah, what I was trying to get at, man, I can't stay focused. So in Cephalopod, he also did an awesome video. He does like myth-busting series, which is so well done. If you guys don't watch that, you really should. It's got, yeah, phenomenal editing on it. It's just really, really well done. Really polished, professional, like, yeah, it's great. Anyway, this last video he did on Guardians, and he did say they needed too tall water to spawn in, so they can't spawn in a single layer of water. It has to be too deep. And I think they can spawn in flowing water, which is what I want to test. I don't know if he did actually state that or not. But one thing he did say is they swim down, which I'm guessing is why all the farms are typically just a giant body of water in which the Guardians can fall out the bottom of it. So I was originally thinking of doing a little grid type system, and I still might, just for fun. The other thing I want to check, so I know I'm just standing here not doing anything. Pack spawning, which Cephalopod mentioned as well, and I hadn't considered when I dug this out, but with pack spawning mobs, it is possible for mobs to spawn, I think up to 5 blocks, or is it 4? I think it's 5 away from their initial spot. So, I do not have a bow. So with that in mind, if I do test this dead spot, I gotta make sure I test it at least 5 blocks away from the edge of where the temple was. So I think if I put a test right in this corner here, kind of along this guy, using him as a guide, that should do it. And do we have a bucket or ice? I don't know if I brought ice down here. I don't think I did. We could probably make a bucket if I could get... Oh yeah, we got furnaces. Let's cook up some iron. Boop. Okay. I wonder if that creeper's going to come and get me. It's like, I know where you are now. Or does he? Aha! He's gone. He's gone. I don't know. Alright. Iron. More iron, please. Let's get rid of you. Don't need a potato. Come on. I'm not prepared, guys. Oh, I'm also going to be away or unable to record for the next kind of week and a half to 2 weeks. Pre-recorded some Space Engineers with Jars, so that should be okay there. We won't have a lack of episodes there, I don't think. And recorded some Surgeon Simulator. And we have our Metro series, which I've pre-recorded the whole series, which is good and bad. It's good because I can get it out to you reliably on a daily basis. It's bad because I can't learn from you guys, and I made a lot of mistakes early game, which could be kind of frustrating. And unfortunately, I can't use your guys' tips to improve my gameplay, but I do get better at it eventually. So I clue in, and I am looking forward to playing the next one, Last Light, because I will be less incompetent, hopefully, by then. Alright, so the test I want to do is the same principle as the squid farm we made on Olympus, and it's using a checkerboard pattern of water. And the reason why I want to do this is because I can do something cool at the bottom with ice so that this stuff is just floating. I don't need to use trap doors or any of that stuff to hold up the water or signs or anything like that. Let's see, should we put something at the bottom? I don't remember what their layers are to spawn. It's like 49 or something, isn't it? No, that was probably not as smart. Especially with that guy probably going to hurt me. No touch, no touch, no touch, no touch. And squish. Squishy, squishy. Anyway, the height's not really important. I'm just going to do it at the bottom here anyway. Okay. Well, in terms of, yeah, so my plans, again, not sure. how much longer we'll keep playing in this world. My motivation to do so is growing less and less. I used to just want to play in this world all the time, and then I would just record when I thought the time called for it. But now it's just, I could not play and be okay with it. The only reason I probably play is to record. Even though I do have fun when I hop on and play, but yeah, it's just other things I could be doing. Things that might be coming in the future. So we have Space Engineers with jars, but multiplayer in that game is proving to be kind of a bummer. No fault of like Keen or anything like that. It's a pretty big part of a game, and during this stage of alpha may not be the best time to have multiplayer in a game, because it's kind of, the game's always breaking, it's always buggy, and it's always a lot more buggy in multiplayer. So there's a lot of things that me and Jars can't do in that game that we would like to, just because it's not stable enough in a multiplayer environment. So Jars has already started his single player series in that game, and I'm thinking of starting one as well fairly soon. Well, soon is relative. I'm kind of waiting for some features that they've talked about adding, and then as soon as those are in, I think I will start up a single player series of that as well. And in doing so, I don't know why I'm really doing this part. This isn't really necessary, and it's not going to be here in the end anyway. Alright, well, did I at least put a gap for all the water so we're not making a mess? I think so. So yeah, once some new features get added that I'm kind of waiting on, we shall too be starting a singles player series, which we can do more stuff with cargo ships and moving parts, pistons, rotors, all that kind of stuff. A lot more stable in single player. Cargo ships and all that kind of stuff, you can actually attack them. There's no latency issues or blowing up your own ship with rockets, I don't think. So yeah, all in all, it'll be a pretty good experience there, I hope, for both of us. Yeah, other series. 7 Days to Die has been getting some updates, and I keep meaning to go back to that. Can we grab some more iron? Let's just grab some more buckets, or at least 2, and maybe we can make an infinite spring. So yeah, 7 Days to Die, I've been getting some updates, and I've been meaning to play it. I think I might just wait for a few more updates, because they're kind of... Alpha 9 just came out, which introduced random generation, which is pretty awesome. So now you can just explore. It's not the same thing every time. It's not a fixed map, so you can just walk in one direction and check things out. So that appeals to me, as that's kind of what we were doing anyway. When we first checked out that game, we were just kind of wandering around. And it wasn't until we kind of learned the whole area that it got a little bit stale in terms of exploration. So for me, yeah, just exploring and just going from place to place and trying to survive is really appealing to me. And there's some awesome new stuff, or there's more new stuff in the future for 7 Days to Die that I'm really excited for as well. So although natural or random generation is, and procedural or whatever it's called, is really cool, there's more stuff that's gonna make that even cooler. So I'm kind of waiting on that. I'm waiting maybe some of the other features. We might play it before then. All kind of depends what happens. Okay. So this is the test. Boop. Is that all the water we need? Yeah. Okay. I think. So that's that. It's daytime, so hopefully that's a big enough... Oops. I meant to jump. Hopefully that's a big enough area that we might be able to get some spawns. But I might need to just wait. No, there's one already, I think. Hi, guy. Yep. Oh, yeah, look at that. So, the reasoning behind this, although it doesn't seem to be doing anything, he's still just sinking. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No. The hope in doing it this way is I'd hope they'd fall out of it like squid do. Oh, God. In these one wide, whatever, tunnels. Oh, it's you guys. Squid typically just fall out of them as soon as they try to swim in a direction, because there's no real adjacent water. It's just all diagonal. I don't want to fight you. Or you. So I don't think this is any better, but I might have an idea nonetheless, actually. We might do a full body of water, but I might try some ice trickery anyway to hold the water up at the very bottom. I'm not sure if it'll work. I'll have to do some testing creative. I think it should work, but I believe if I do ice in a basically a jaggedy pattern. Let's see here. Oh, this isn't gonna work. Let's go up one layer. Okay. So if I do that with the ice, same as the top, and then have ice. Let's see here. Ice there. I guess right on top of it. So it'll be a checkerboard on top of a checkerboard, resulting in no gaps. Now, ice behaves kind of wonky when it updates, but if you do it the right way, you can make it so the water's there, and then you, if the water's already there and you unthaw the ice, you can get it so that that ice block will hold up that water stream. That's what we did at the squid farm on Olympus, and that's what I wanted to do here. But I'm noticing they're not falling out, and that was the goal. They're still just sinking straight down. So the benefit of doing it this way doesn't appear to be any benefit to do it this way. I would get better results if I just put a big body of water, because if I do it that way, I'm only filling up half the space with water, the rest of it's with air. And if it's not going to allow them to fall out of that stream faster, then there's no point in doing it. Okay. Good enough for me. Test complete. Let's get out of here, I think. Let's grab tools. Tools, please. I could fill up my inventory if I was smart. We'll take you. Okay, we'll put you in there. Let's do this. Gravel. Okay, our next stop is going to be the Wither Farm. Oh yeah, there's our rest of our stuff and our sponge. I don't think we lost any more. The sea lanterns, which are cool. Okay. So yeah, I'll just fill up with stone and head back to the village, and then we'll head off to the Wither Farm, because I want to test that out. I got it. Hill GM mentioned that I think that they're broken, or they changed the spawning height requirements of the wither skeletons, and in doing so may have broke my farm. I've also seen what they call it, the wither wiper or something, jails, and it was someone on the jail crew's contraption. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. It uses premise, I think, basically is just gas that will push mobs off, and that is pretty cool. I've never seen that. I don't know how new that is, but that's pretty inventive. So yeah, using gas and minecarts, acting like a sweeper and just sweeping mobs off the platform. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not going to be like redesigning my wither farm or anything like that. We've got enough skulls, even if it is broken and I can't get any more. I've got enough skulls than I'll ever need. We have enough for, I think, at least a stack more beacons, so I think that should suffice. Alright, so we confirmed that they can spawn there, and they look like they're far enough away, so that is indeed still qualified as a temple, even though the structure didn't spawn there. So that's cool. And we'll go for a full water approach, and I will do some testing in terms of water configuration and such. Oh, I know, there's armor stands. Well, that's interesting. It booted me out of my menu when the effects were off. What am I doing? Okay. How's this thing working? Perfect. So yeah, I haven't checked out the armor stands, but in time. Excuse me. Excuse me. No! My card. Really need to get this thing to a one hit. Smite 5 maybe? And strength, right? No, let's put you back on the rail. There you go. Alright, so we're at the Wither Farm. Skeleton Farm. Not to be confused with actual withers, but the Wither Skeleton Farm. No chirpies. Do I have a good way down? Huh. Oh god. Not a good way down at all. It's a beautiful way down. Alright. So in terms of testing this thing, it's going to be a little difficult. We could bring in Morilibus and use his cheaty ways of being able to be in, what do you call it? Mode? Yep, that mode. Now, what is it called? Why is my beacon... Is my beacon broken? Or am I just not close enough yet? I'm looking for fire protection. Fire protection, was it in the first one? Yes. Just in case. And some regens, since I don't seem to be regenning. Okay, so the thing I'm wondering... Yeah, I think the beacon doesn't work anymore. Probably because they raised the values, but it should have broken the snapshots. Maybe it did. So I'm not sure if skeletons now require like a block height of 3, where they used to be able to spawn on 2.5. Or I'm just not sure if... Oh, let's just drink this before I do something stupid. So yeah, I'm not sure if they now require 3 or if it was just an error and they can indeed still spawn at 2.5, and maybe whoever was trying it only had a gap of 3 or 2 high gap. Otherwise, we should still get withers from the top level, I do believe. So I'm going to try to see what I can see, but unfortunately, while I'm here, they're not going to spawn They're not going to spawn close to me. And I might take this guy so we can see better. But all I need to do is see one skeleton spawn at the bottom 3 layers. We could go down and just see how many wither skeletons show up. But I don't want to do that. Because of the crusher and everything, I don't know how good of a representation that will be. Because sometimes we get very few skeletons down there, sometimes we get a lot. Alright, so I wasn't having too much luck. I didn't see any spawning at that level, but I can't confirm if it's the case or not. It could be chance. I didn't feel like waiting forever. So where we are right now is in a test world. I don't know if this is still a fortress or not, or if this was a victim to a bug. But this is where I originally did a bunch of testing with the skeletons and the like. No, it looks like it's still working because we have skeletons. So this is an intersection, which I just kind of converted. This is where I did a lot of testing early on in the Wither skeletons when they first arose, before we had Cabo PC's mod and stuff like that to tell us exactly where these guys could spawn. I did a lot of testing and stuff to try to figure it out myself. And it did go... I kind of confirmed what was later found out with the mods and stuff, with better tools, basically. Which was a lot easier than my method of trial and error. Alright, difficulty... That's not how you spell that. Difficulty 0. So what I'm going to do... I know withers can spawn here, and they used to be able to spawn in a 2.5 high area. So I'm simply going to... Oh, I wonder if I'm smart enough to use a command block. I don't think I am. Oh, what is the command anyway? Is it fill or replace? Ah, I won't try to be smart. I don't use them often enough to remember any of the commands. Okay, I will just do it the old-fashioned way. Fill this in and bring it back for hopefully some results. Maybe I'll grab a command block. Boop. Okay. Let's put you right there. Is it fill? Replace? Set block? Alright. I ended up just doing it by hand. I could get it to put lower slabs. I couldn't get it to put upper slabs with the command block, so I figured it'd be quicker for me just to place them than to look it up and try to figure it out. So there you have it. It's now ready for a test, so we can go ahead and, yeah, you can see me trying different things. Difficulty 3. And if we get... Really? Oh yeah, I guess those are upper... those are upper slabs. Of course they can spawn up there. It's okay. Hopefully it doesn't skew things too much. So we might get wither skeletons on the top. But do we get any in the bottom? Is that one? Nope, that's a pigman. That's a pigman. Ooh, we have night vision. Whoop. Oh god, it's terrible. So red. So it does look to be the case that these guys have changed for the worst. So now they're equivalent to Endermen, essentially, in terms of farm-wise. And that is unfortunate because of their height being 2.5. You were able to get 4 layers of a farm in. Now, however, you cannot. I wonder if the Wither Whip has accommodated for this change, or is their floor set to 2.5? I didn't quite see. It might be more because they got the gas there, so maybe they just have 3 floors. Anyway, what's that command that shows you the hitboxes? I'm going to try to find it, as I don't remember what it is. F3 and B. So what I might do... Okay, let's take a look at these guys. What I might do is load this up in a previous version again. And see... Well, I don't think you could ever get a block in them, but they used to be able to spawn in there. I want to get this as close as possible. Guy, could you get a little closer, please? Stay right there. Okay, so you are... Oh, look at that. You're like a pixel higher, if that is indeed your spawn box. I don't know how this works. But he is a bit taller, so let's compare that to the old height. Alright, so now we are in 1.7. And let's just fire up that guy again. Oh yeah, look at that. So that is much lower. So that is why you could spawn here before, but not any longer. So now if we back up, it's kind of neat with the little white boxes. We could probably get some wither skeletons down below. Just go ahead and cycle these guys off. And back on. There's our wither skelly. So yeah, he's actually lower than that. Okay. Well, that is kind of... I mean, it's not totally unexpected. It's kind of a drag that they fixed it now. Like, really, that should have been something that you fix when you add the skeleton in. Not, like, what is it, 3 updates after the fact? So after we've been working with these wither skeletons for, like, when did we get them? 1.4? I think so. Or was it 1.5? But either way, that's like 2, 3... Yes, if it's 1.4, that's 4 updates now. A little strange to fix it now. Would have been nice just to fix it right when they were implemented so we didn't have to change things. But that's okay. Like I said, we got lots of wither skulls, and it still works, at least the top layer. And if I wanted to, I could rip out the second layer or the third layer or something. We could make it so we have at least 2 layers that will spawn the wither skeletons. Or we could change the design, but I don't think it's worth the effort or the time investment for what we're going to get out of it when we already get enough wither skulls and already have enough wither skulls on hand. Alright guys, well that's it for today. More just kind of experimentation. But we learned something. So Hail GM, you are indeed correct. These guys no longer spawn in a 2.5 area. They now require a 3 tall area. Boo! Boo!